campaign focus, but he's just such a fundamentally talented dueler that he can still enter a duel tournament and still get top 4 and defeat the likes of Rafa. Like, it's pretty remarkable.
The bright purple Doomslayer.
Oh, I'm a big fan of that one. I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, Blood Run is going to be the map that we go into first, which we kind of expected to see. So we're loading into that now. So once again, thanks for being patient, guys. This is going to be quite an interesting match. You know, will ckap be able to sort of ride the momentum him and his team have been able to build in Sacrifice? And can he maintain that success going into Duel? I think we're going to be moments away from finding out.
We'll find out over the next half hour or so. And I believe, yeah, players are looking good, I think, moving into this one. So the rosters are kind of like a mixture of champions that we've kind of expected to see throughout a lot of today. So the Anarchy, Sorlag, Doomslayer, Nyx, Ranger, a lot of stuff that we've kind of seen a lot of in various different combinations today. The fact that it's Blood Run means that, you know, Ranger being here is no surprise. We've already seen Ranger can be incredible on this map as well. Sorlag, I think, still very much has a place, which I think has been good. So the players are having a nice... what would you call this in the warm-up?
They had...
Well, what would you have called it before the betrayal?
Well, before they decided to cheat and then use explicit expletives, they had quite a funny race that was going on. But unfortunately, the language... We're going into our next match now, piehero versus ckap. This is losers bracket action. One of these guys is going to be out of the tournament. One of these guys will be moving on for a better chance at Quake Winter. Oh!
Wow, first frag going in the way of ckap with that nice rail at the last minute. You know, it's going to be a good match when you've got the first frag in less than 20 seconds.
I think getting a really early frag on a map like this, though, it is naturally going to be super useful for you, because I think getting that momentum early on and essentially putting your opponent behind before they've really had a chance to collect themselves and get their bearings on a map like this.
Oh, wow. There we go. Another frag going the way of ckap. piehero just unfortunately getting caught out at the wrong place.
And that was a really good spawn for ckap catching piehero, but he's really just going to spawn near an LG there. So if that rail landed, he probably would have been able to chase it down a little bit. But unfortunately, because the rail failed to connect, ckap did have to put a little bit of space between them. That was a nice shot.
Very nice shot coming out of piehero there.
Hung out a little bit longer, waited to see for the dire orb, but his read was on point. But yeah, it's a little bit risky for him to go for the heavy just yet. He's waiting to see if piehero tries to contest this.
He really wants that armor though, heavy armor being so good at letting you fight 1v1. There it is, waits out.
But no rail, again, no ammo for the railgun, so he's not going to be able to challenge. Being forced to retreat is going to give piehero both stacks, so temporarily going to be in control of the heavy, but I feel like he may have been able to beat him to the mega. But before he even had a chance to collect it, the combination of dire orb and rocket, I mean,
insta-kill, man.
Melted.
Insta-kill.
No telefrag required.
piehero though now put on the back foot. Fortunately though, a nice amount of health and armor nearby.
I feel like the dire orb is the gift that keeps on giving. It does huge damage, it's got a generous hitbox, it lets you navigate the map, you can insta-kill with it. Even if you don't insta-kill, you do massive, like, essentially burst damage anyway. It's a pretty good ability, and it's got a 20-second cooldown. Happy days.
Still though, nice armor pickup going for ckap. piehero getting the mega, so he's trading out 1 for 1. Oh, yeah, ckap's not looking at him.
He's springing a trap.
But again, though, ckap is still in the lead halfway through this first round. A lot of patience being shown already, though.
I think, well, piehero needs to be extremely careful here. I think that because it's not only the fact that he's behind, but he's going up against the likes of a Sorlag, and obviously ckap Sorlag is superb, as we've seen time and time again. Oh, wow. Yeah, teleport from high, tries to go in for the dire orb, but unfortunately misses it. That's likely going to be punished with the round, and it is indeed. I mean, I respect the attempt. That would have brought Ranger straight back into the fight, but unfortunately, as is normally the way with the dire orb,
it's all. Sometimes it can be all or nothing, and in situations like that, where if it hits, you know, you've tied things up, you've got the frag. If it misses, you're probably going to die. And unfortunately, in that situation, it was the latter. He kept fighting out of that quite well, actually, considering.
You almost would have thought the ckap got caught off guard there, trying to go in for it, but again, a couple of really smart rockets placed down there to keep piehero behind, making it risky for him to push the advantage. These kind of smaller champions will have that difficulty.
Oh, there's the aggressive Ghost Walk, but there's the injection too. piehero really wants this frag. He's chasing it hard, but ckap being way too slippery.
Yep, and I think he deems it too much of a risk to try and fight through the teleporter, but I actually like the idea to go for the heavy. Nice read on the teleporter, unfortunately beats him to the Mega. This is likely going to be a dead piehero, but no, he survives! Manages to get a super shotgun blast on deck, and that rocket doesn't do enough damage.
Very low health left for piehero as well. If ckap can find him now, can't finish him off, but there we go. It's too late. Already managed to get back up to full health and armor. Yeah, Ghost Walk is there. Piehero not really any immediate danger yet,
but he immediately did have to double back. The second he tried to use that jump and caught saw lag on the rocket jump. A bit too risky to stay there and fight for it. Ooh, caught changing to the rocket right as he was in the middle of the rocket jump. That would have been a nice rail if he actually had it lined up ready to go.
But again, a change of pace now. It's piehero that can afford to be on the defensive. Now he has that one champion lead.
I feel like the second you see that first champion go down, this is the kind of change of pace that you see, but here comes ckap full speed ahead. Even if he manages to get away with this Ghost Walk, will ckap chase it down? He's got a good read on it, minimal damage. Can he turn about? Wow, the rail fails to connect! ckap might still go down here, but no, he misses the rail!
Is he walking in the acid? No, actually no, there was the rocket. I thought he just walked in an acid puddle. I was being like, no, I can't believe it.
That could have been
a
anyone's
rocket
fight.
Was enough.
That was anyone's fight from the very beginning.
Oh, ckap taking this fight very low on health though. Don't know if he really had the right amount of health to take that fight, but he did it anyway.
ckap's down to his final champion, so with the turn, we'll see what he can do with that, I think. But I mean, we haven't seen a huge amount of his Doomslayer just yet.
But again, we've seen Doomslayer can be very strong on this map, considering he doesn't actually need to hurt himself to pick up that heavy armor, which is a big deal, and ckap gets taken down relatively easily. That's going to be a return round 1-1 now. Piehero managing to tie things up.
Prepare to fight.
1-1 is a good start for both these guys. I think, ckap had such a dominant round number 1. You always wonder how it's going to snowball, but I think being able to fight back and get that round on board in the losers bracket too is going to be great for morale above anything else.
Piehero though, getting the heavy armor, but ckap getting the mega health, so basically trading out at the moment. Weaponry though, no rocket launcher yet for piehero. We know ckap definitely has one, but a nice shot, taking down all that stack from ckap.
You know, I'm actually really surprised that ckap pushed that one. I know he had the speed, I know he had the rocket launcher, I understand.
He didn't have any armor.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know he understands that piehero mustn't have had the rocket launcher on deck because he spawned near it. It was a very risky play, but it clearly worked out. You know, it paid off.
So ckap's being very aggressive, and it's actually a nice change of pace to see. Still though, looking through. Good start for ckap anyway. Finds himself quite low. Nice! Seeing the trajectory of where piehero is flying into a nice rocket. Good stuff.
This next level awareness and high level Quake. If you're used to Doomslayer going in for a double jump, you know roughly how high he's going to go. And you just follow it up. Very impressive.
Perfect turn of events for ckap now, having full stack on health. Most of his armor, at least. But it's gone now. Oh! Nice, just from the hip fire from that far away. ckap, very quick round in response.
Couple more rounds like that, and he's going to be more than okay. I feel like his accuracy in that round was really strong.
In 3, 2.
It's knowing when to be aggressive though, right? Knowing when it's your time to go in, but making sure that when you do go in, you're landing those rails, you're landing those rockets. You're not putting yourself in harm's way by having downtime.
A big part of it too, though, is ckap being able to hold on to this Anarchy, because Anarchy really lets him play like that 100%, and he needs to make sure he doesn't lose this champion so he can maintain it.
I don't think he's quite ready for piehero to be there, but unfortunately, even though piehero caught him off guard, somehow he comes off worse in the exchange. That's quite surprising.
ckap's rockets are just a little bit better there.
Yeah, piehero caught him off guard, but he just couldn't land the shots. That's going to be good data for piehero at the very least to say, okay, at the very least he can spring those traps.
Immediate ghost walk though from piehero, no messing around, could not afford to be patient. So this is kept very low.
Follows it through and gets a very impressive rocket. That was important to land, definitely.
Still ckap's going to know that piehero's ghost walk is going to be down. He can find him. Oh, big shot. Piehero's in trouble now.
There's that patience on the rail. Unfortunately, with 20 health left, you've got to be careful. even with all that armor.
But just like that, piehero able to just undo the damage and has Ghost Walk again.
Unfortunately, those rockets, though, are not hitting their mark. You can't really be hitting those 20s against a Sorlag. She'll take that for days. Opting just to escape. Here comes ckap with the chase, but Zig, he zags. He went straight forward and
He's going to know she's up here at least. What does he do with that information? Mega health is secured. Heavy armor not going to be up for a while. And again, both rounds that ckap has won, he's actually managed to win relatively quickly, whereas piehero, whenever he's... but both of these rounds now that he's taken that first frag, he really has slowed things down to a crawl.
It's a conflict in playstyle, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got one player that... It's obviously, ckap is not playing offensive all the time. He's not all constantly going for aggression. 3 very important rails.
Oh no, that's not good for ckap.
Yeah, that was going to be completely punished, landing 3 rails in a row, forcing almost like a hasty escape from ckap. I think he was so weak that might have been somewhat of a panic jump, and he just couldn't get the angle. Chasing it down with the Berserk. He's probably going to punish this heavily, but no! Flies face first into a rocket. I was almost prepared to see that Berserk take him out 100%, but with the lack of the rail ammo, but no, changes to the rocket launcher and finishes the job.
He might have been able to if the Berserk would keep up with him a little bit, but it looks like he was moving too fast. So able to just keep him at that distance, and now we're going down to final round in this first map. Between 2 players so far, we know, I mean, ckap, you said, right, had a good time at Denver. piehero, heard a lot of good things about.
Both players clearly delivering too. This 2-2 first map. Strange snap right there.
Oh, a lot of nails. ckap, health just being melted away.
Yeah, if you've not got a rocket launcher, defensive nails will be the next best thing. Using the nail for defensive purposes as well means you haven't really got to bank everything on that rocket launcher. Players have been running out of ammo for rocket and rail so consistently, not just today, but throughout all the qualifiers really, actually. Not being used to some of the ammo changes.
ckap is just... He's getting a lot of good damage in these sort of, like, you know, poke exchanges of damage, but piehero is able to recover so much better with the pickups around. Like, he's been able to get heavy, both megas as well, both heavy and mega, I should say. Whenever he takes any damage, so he'll lose health and then just immediately come back with it.
Yeah, when piehero's behind, the item he collects to get back into the fight are always a bit more substantial. I mean, like here, right? He's maintaining constant control of the middle of the map. He's just got heavy and mega. If ckap wants to take this fight, if he eats a rail, he's going to be in massive trouble. Especially if he's missing those rails, going in for the rocket jump, catches him off guard. Hang on a minute, ckap's in big trouble here. Oh, there we go.
And that's what happens. He realized that ckap didn't have any armor. 1 rail is all it took.
Try to do as much damage as possible before he opts to go in for the invisibility, but he doesn't even need to use it in the fight. Instead, he can use it to make himself not eat the acid damage. I think that was a good sequence from piehero. Now he's in great control. Heavy armor spawning as well. No, I mean, to be honest, minimal LG damage coming through, so he's not going to worry too much. The important thing, actually, I think, is keeping that heavy away from Doomslayer. Even if you lose it quite quickly, making sure that he can't stack up massively means you have such a better job at keeping him behind. Going in for Berserk, and it runs out really quickly. Now he's in huge trouble. Not much health left either. One more rail, and wow, ckap with a turnaround.
ckap just beat him to the draw that time. They both had the exact same idea, but ckap was just that slight bit faster.
That was a standoff if I've ever seen one. The comeback is possible. We've seen comebacks throughout today.
I'm going to say it's definitely not going to happen. It just is going to be difficult, but I mean, we keep saying that and it keeps happening, so I feel like I just need to keep my mouth shut.
Exactly.
Ooh. A lot of damage, and ckap's going to be aware. Makes you wonder if that almost like hesitation to turn around was almost like, do I chase this? Do I go in? Do I follow it?
So yeah, we're going to get this Mega 2. Can. There we go. Good fortune all round.
Alright, good turnaround for ckap. If he can take out piehero now, it's going to be a 1v1 with his stack. Oh, good shot on that rail.
Lovely shot.
piehero now going to be having to worry about getting himself back to full resources.
In fact, ckap's being careful. He's trying to spring that trap, but I feel like piehero has the same idea. He's using that bloodbath to try and heal himself back up temporarily. Unfortunately, though, using all that time on the bloodbath, it takes 5 health per time, right? You give up a lot of control trying to heal up naturally through that, because it does take a long time. It has allowed ckap
Definitely one of those situations where if you feel like you have no other options, but you desperately need health back, it's there. It's just should never be your first choice. Still looks like piehero has hightailed out of there immediately.
He's content playing on the champion advantage, but he's hanging out a little bit to get those rails. Quite risky, actually. Opting to stick around.
Popping berserk in case piehero is here trying to stop him getting the mega. Looks like he wasn't at all, actually.
Now here comes the 1 minute warning. Is
That
ckap
double
going to
jump
survive?
through. Piehero gets taken out, and that's going to be the mega health still down there as well for whoever wants it. I think piehero might actually be closer.
Yeah, it was. Piehero's rail closer. But even if you spawn closer to mega, if you've not got a rail gun and your opponent does, you may as well not have a mega at all. You saw how quickly ckap deleted any health that piehero got on deck there.
Piehero's still back there. He does have the dire orb though. Is he going to come through? No. Some rocket damage. This could be such an amazing comeback for ckap, but it's going to be difficult. And, you know, you said it yourself, how many times has Ranger just been like, Ranger doesn't care about your stack, he doesn't care about your amount of health.
But I wonder if piehero is going to take that risk. If he messes up a dire orb trying to go for that, it's a punishing mistake. Losing the map on one bad orb. Hang on.
What about this?
No! Not sure I agree with that decision, to be honest, but he gave it a go. Tried to bet the farm on the berserk. Maybe he thought he could have caught him off guard. Ranger hasn't got the highest amount of health and armor. He has sort of like default health and armor. Maybe a couple of
I
punches.
feel like it was
to the
almost like almost like a rushed attempt at the end there, where ckap had consistently been able to like bring himself back into that final round by being slow, taking his shots where he needed to, taking the fights where he needed to, but then at the end to just relatively out of nowhere kind of just pop berserk and chase something when you took a rocket on the way in, a second rocket on the way in, and then hung around for the third. Like, I feel like that was always bound to happen.
I believe the final shot was a direct too. You saw in the endgame chat, ckap typed in chat, "Nice shot." So I feel like maybe he just wasn't expecting to get hit by a direct. Maybe he was expecting to go so fast and to fly so far in there. The direct was not going to be a possibility, and when it hit, it just took him by surprise. But either way, we're going into Corrupted Keep for our potential final map in this series. But I think that was, even though ckap spent most of that last round
It was
behind,
definitely a good game, definitely a good map regardless.
well, even though ckap spent most of that last round behind, I actually think it was his round to lose. I think he was actually making a really strong comeback, and he totally could have won that, but I think that hasty decision to pop berserk at the end and walk into those rockets trying to go in for the melee just didn't quite work out.
No, unfortunately not. But at least it was close, right? So if it's not a blowout, it means, okay, right, I can take these rounds, I can take these maps. I just need to be a little bit more careful about it. Because ultimately, I think ckap definitely could have taken that if he wasn't a little bit too hasty at the end there. But I think, obviously, you know, when you've climbed that much of the mountain, you're like 95% of the way to the top, you just want to get to the top, right? You know, you're kind of like, I've done the vast majority, I just want to get there now. And that's like the kind of impression I got from that play. Obviously, you know, I could be completely wrong, but
Well, in many ways,
that's what I got the impression of.
In many ways, the hard work was done. You know, he'd sort of pulled off the evening out situation, which is normally the daunting bit. But going into Corrupted Keep, this is, as always, going to be a change of pace. Things are going to be a little bit more fast-paced. We're likely to see a little bit more aggression, particularly if both of these guys have gone for Anarchy, which they have done. Slayer as well, yep. And the next, we see Sorlag as well. So this is a very traditional couple of champion picks for Corrupted Keep. I think all these champions are fantastic on this map. High damage or high mobility or a mixture of both.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Corrupted Keep, I think, is a map that is popular with a lot of players because it kind of just, it seems to be a little bit more simple, you know, right? It's kind of like, take rail out of the equation, make things a lot shorter, make things a lot smaller. And that's it, you know, you just make things a bit faster as well. You know, you really can't afford to play the clock on Corrupted Keep. It's almost like the hardest map, I think, to play Keep Away on is Corrupted Keep because it's so difficult, because it's so easy to get around almost anywhere on the map. And oh, they're going for one of these amazing warm-up games.
I think they might try and race again.
They're going to race.
They're going for the crouched. They're going for the crouched walk race.
Right, well, okay. So in a shock ton of events, this is reality what they're playing for. The actual result of the map doesn't matter. It's whoever wins this race is going to make DreamHack. I have decreed. I shall make my word law.
One of them should have gone for Sorlag first, because I'm pretty sure she would still speed up going for those crouched bunny hops, and you would have won the race easily.
That's actually a good point.
3,
That's the tech.
2,
But that would have worked as well.
Definitely, but this could be our final map, guys. Piehero versus ckap. ckap is down one map, but my god, it was close. You definitely can't count out ckap in this scenario, but piehero did play unbelievably well to pull it through.
Starting off Anarchy versus Anarchy, I think we're going to be aggressive from the start. The rocket already going in the way of ckap. It's in fact piehero that needs to take this map to win and get that work all done already.
Piehero's been forced to retreat, but to be honest with Anarchy versus Anarchy, as long as you've got an injection and one of those major pickups, I feel like he's only going to be weak for so long. In one injection, he's going to be nice and healthy again.
I like the way ckap is controlling the rocket launcher though. Every time it respawns, he's picking it up straight away. He's just trying to completely deny any rocket launchers at all to ckap.
But clearly Piehero doesn't have the rocket.
To piehero, sorry. He has to pay around. But I like that attempt though. That's a strategy to I spawn in the rocket. So if I just keep the rocket launcher respawn in mine, then obviously your opponent is never going to get one.
I'm assuming he's probably going to... No, he actually opts to spring the attack. Is that going to work out? Taking big damage. Oh! Change of pace instead of ckap going in towards the nail gun area. Trying to use the health bubbles there. I think it's important to take a small health and then just get the heavy instead. I think that did give Piehero the opening to at least take the rocket though. Oh! Unfortunately, even though he did have the rocket, he loses it just as quickly.
This is a much better turnaround for ckap though. This map choice looking really smart. It's a lot more comfortable this time.
Definitely. Popping the berserk to try and get the heavy, but that's going to be down now. Not the end of the world versus Anarchy though, because Anarchy actually can catch up to you. I believe it's 520 or 550 the speed is on the berserk. And Anarchy obviously far exceeds that when he goes nice and fast.
Still though, again, ckap has all the time in the world to do what he wants for the rest of this round now. Has overstacked health, mega health gonna do amazing things to bring that up again. Oh wow, a piehero around the corner waiting for him. ckap, yeah, manages to get away again.
Didn't use his injection too, opted to save it in case he desperately needed it. It can take quite a lot of discipline, I think, to save that injection and not use it every time you get weak. Tries to go for that mid-air, but the double jump kind of catches him off guard a tiny little bit.
I suppose almost a degree of confidence as well, knowing that I'm definitely not going to die here, so I need to save it. Even when you've got like as low of a natural health pool as Anarchy has. Oh, big rocket hit, but all that damage sponged up by that armor.
I think if Anarchy is taking no damage, then you know that armor was substantial. Oh, wow! Meets him on the end.
Piehero is still around, but it looks like ckap is actually playing for the clock so far. He's just avoiding direct or extended confrontation at least.
I think he's happy taking the pickups when necessary and just not putting himself in harm's way, but unfortunately Piehero forces the advantage.
I actually think ckap tried to jump out of the window and unfortunately just undercut it a little bit. At least that's what it seemed like. Piehero could still be in this. Take out ckap Solag. Oh, it isn't going to be possible at all. You get that close, that's going to be some easy directs.
Or you just get comboed with that quick little two-piece. The gauntlet at the end just for the little bit of cheeky manners. But I think that was really strong. I mean, like ckap, you know, whenever you see someone change a map and they win quite convincingly on the first round of that map, you kind of know what's going on. You know, you get a grasp of how they want to approach this. ckap's Anarchy has clearly been really strong so far. It's quite a running theme. I know Anarchy in general was a very strong champion in this game, but I loved how pretty much the first chunk of that round, he essentially kept the rocket launcher away from Piehero and denied that super important weapon that he needed. But the Ghost Walk coming through, keeping him alive temporarily. I think he's going to chase it. Yeah, going in for the super shotgun. Piehero more than capable of doing the maths and realizing that ckap was nowhere near healthy enough to survive that.
And in 20 seconds is able to do what took him a long time in round one. There's the adjustment from Piehero now. Taking the Anarchy off the table, I think, is going to be great for Piehero just to stop that momentum. ckap was doing a great job building up.
I love that read, actually. ckap using the jump pad, maybe to try and trick Piehero into making some form of advance. I feel like bumping into that ledge was quite intentional.
Maybe.
It was like an element of a Doomslayer. You pop the jump pad to bait them into reacting to the sound effects, but then you jump and go somewhere completely different.
There's ckap at least being able to get hold of the mega health, at least. But Piehero now can play the waiting game if he wants to, but looks like he's actively trying to seek out ckap.
I think Piehero's objective is going to be to try and keep him behind. Running away 4.5 minutes is going to be no easy feat, especially when you've got a Solag and you're only going to get so many Ghost Walks, and she'll shred you quite convincingly. think he's just trying to play careful, but take the fights when necessary. Use those Ghost Walks when you have to. ckap took a ton of damage on the way in, but piehero understandably forced to retreat again while he collects the heavy armor.
But another one of those situations that it was take damage into pickup of mega health, so it's kind of like how much did it ultimately mean?
That's likely to be a dead piehero, and it is. ckap ties the knot. There we go, 1 frag each for now.
piehero going straight, Anarchy coming here immediately, not wasting any time, but he might have bit off a little bit more than he can chew here. Didn't get the right amount of damage. Doubles back, so not overcommit too late there. And piehero almost very quickly lost his Anarchy straight away.
I feel like piehero should have died there. It was just the rockets just didn't hit their mark on him, but he was so close. A direct could have happened at any moment, and that would have been, he'd have been toast, 100%.
Above damage here. This actually could be a dead ckap. He is going to be able to get away before the acid connects to anything substantial.
Yeah, ckap probably feeling like he dived a little bit too far into that fight. You know, going around the corner, there was nowhere to run, nowhere to escape. Kind of at the mercy of the LG, and obviously for playing a Sorlag with that chunky in the box, you're only really going to survive for so long. Yeah, so his Doomslayer come back. Big damage on the rocket.
Oh, that was an
nice.
almost wonderful mid-air, but didn't quite get the damage he needed.
Any damage is better than no damage, I suppose, but either way, he's going to be happy with a couple of those. Here comes ckap. He's being super aggressive, but eats 2 mid-airs. Again, I think sometimes he's being so aggressive, he might not be expecting piehero to land just as many directs as he's landing.
It's very all in. It's I'm gonna do everything I can to try and win this 1v1, and if you do, so be it. But it's quite stressful to be on the receiving end of that if someone is willing to just be that aggressive in your face from start to finish, especially when it seems like, you know, maybe they shouldn't, and you'd almost like expect them to run away, and then bam, you know, before you know it, they're right back at you again.
Whoa! Teleports right before the gauntlet. That would have been unfortunate indeed.
All the Ghost Walk pop from piehero. Oh, gets a lot of damage onto ckap. Oh, but big damage direct from ckap onto piehero. piehero missing the mark this time.
That's the thing, right? Like the Dire Orb, like other abilities in the game, all or nothing. If you use an aggressive Ghost Walk and it goes south, you have no escape mechanisms. And now against an Anarchy with good mobility and loads of rockets. Oh, huge damage! ckap looking for another one.
Doesn't have any armor though. These rockets are going to be crucial for either player. piehero loses the armor immediately, but still there, trying to run away.
Love how ckap has built the rocket launcher into his pathing here. You know, if he's making a sequence back to Mega Room, he wants to make sure he's passing the rocket launcher at the same time, not only to take the rocket launcher away from piehero, but to make sure that he is nice and topped up with ammo.
I think that's a really important thing though, is taking away those key weapons from your competition, especially when it's stuff they desperately need. So piehero already popped his Berserk there, trying to get the heavy armor. He was able to pick it up, but lost a lot of health in the process.
Ooh.
Juice it up, baby.
Being very careful around these corners. I think he's actually really trying to time when he thinks piehero is going to go into those rockets.
Hang on!
One hits the mark, and that's all he needs.
To kill you last,
But before he actually got fried, I was going to say ckap's ability to actually sort of jump and dodge on anticipation of the rockets was actually quite impressive. That final rocket after, like, you know, the 5 that had come out was the only one that really did significant damage. But I think ckap's ability to dodge has been super on point. Nice shot! And a good read through the teleporter as well. Being a little bit too predictable through that, unfortunately. You know, on the spot mind sort of calculation where you should be going and where the rocket was likely to come from. I think didn't really realize ckap was probably going to be lying there and wait.
Yes, indeed, but that does mean ckap is 1 round away from evening things up. 1 map apiece. We might be going down to a map 3 here. Maybe not, depending on what piehero does.
Hey,
with his nicks
piehero,
here.
he's pulled it off before, but yeah, that's the start. He's nowhere near the rocket. I think he understands he has to try and sort of make a little bit of a passage around, get some armor instead, go for the rocket launcher later. But ultimately, he's going to need the rocket launcher. I think piehero is really trying to control it.
So you can see where ckap is though, so we can see that if he's trying to control the rocket launcher and he sees ckap go towards Mega, he can quickly take that detour. I think it's possible for him to control all of them. Rocket launcher's there. Oof, manages to get one, but takes a little bit of damage for it.
I like this very deliberate movement by ckap as well to almost bait piehero.
I see.
He's gone in for the injection. Does he chase? He has to chase it down. I think it was a very deliberate movement to trick piehero into looking for a certain direction, and then ckap would consistently just double back and go somewhere else. I love that awareness. This might be dead next.
Yeah, piehero is definitely dead there. Heavy armor is up. Mega health going to be up soon. Does piehero try and meet him there, or he's got mega health at least?
Spawning near the rocket launcher was a good start, but again, 100 damage. That is unignorable damage right there. Anaki's got to get out.
That's it, especially on Anarchy. Oh, and piehero gets taken down immediately. ckap is on a roll, and again, it all comes from this Anarchy.
Taking the rocket launcher fresh off the spawn, which means piehero's only got a tri-bolt. And,
yep. Oh, dearie me! Pushes him out of bounds.
And to be honest,
goodbye, Doomslayer.
To be honest, he hit very little hits of that LG as well. It was just the LG he hit was substantial enough just to send him just enough to knock him off the ledge. And someone like Doomslayer, not ringing him out that early when he hasn't got any weapons was like pretty much best case scenario. If he's got a stack, even if he's on spawn, you're Anarchy, delete him in one shot and it just makes your life a lot easier.
But that worked out, and that's going to be one map apiece. ckap, I think, looking a lot stronger there when Anarchy was alive and when he had low space. What do you think the choice is here now then from piehero? Do you think we might see a Blood Covenant as opposed to sort of go with a similar Blood Run, maybe just going for the space, or do you think we might see something else?
I feel like Blood Covenant would be kind of strange because
Ruins of Sarnath.
Yeah, Blood Covenant would have been quite strange because of how prominent ckap's Anarchy has been. And Blood Covenant is quite a decent map for him, obviously, as well. piehero has been using a lot of Nyx, but she works on pretty much either of these two maps. Ruins of Sarnath, I think he's probably going to try and take how aggressive ckap's been trying to play. Ruins of Sarnath obviously allows you to create a lot more space. That sort of hit-and-run style with the rails becomes a lot more prominent against these aggressive champions. You kind of keep them at arm's reach, and when they finally come into fight, they've not got the stack they probably want for the fight. However, you got to make sure you're hitting those rails. You know, piehero, there's no more room for games. This is the last map, and because this is losers, whoever loses this map is out of the tournament. And their only chance after that will probably be BYSC, which, as an American, might be quite an investment.
Indeed. I think we're going to see their predicted 3 team they've been going with every time here. That seems very much like it.
There we go.
That's what we're going to be seeing.
No surprise.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, it's not a huge surprise at all, considering, you know, this is the last chance. This is the final map for either of these players. You know, one of them will move on, sure, but one of them is going home, or staying home, I should say. And when there is only one space, this is like the definition of falling at the final hurdle, I think.
Definitely. So we have one map separating these two guys. So I'm very excited. I think the fact that the first map was really close, but I think ckap kind of let that map fall through his fingers. I think it was his to win, and he kind of just dropped it, almost tried to rush it, end it a bit too quickly, and he paid the price with those directs when he was going into Berserk mode. I think Corrupt the Keep was a really good map for ckap. I think it was just the way ckap was being so ridiculously aggressive. piehero had a hard time. You know, he couldn't compete with the directs. Even though piehero hit his fair share of good shots, I think ckap just hit the more prominent ones.
I think, actually, speaking of shots, though, now we're back on Ruins of Sarnath. Rail is now back into the mix, and that's something that ckap was definitely, I think, a little bit stronger with. At least in the first map. You know, I think it was looking like ckap, in the end, ended up being a lot more powerful, and also ckap is saying that your head is on fire. That's dangerous. Shouldn't.
And piehero says, I'm hot-headed. Which you can't argue with that.
Oh my god.
Now, this is our final map, folks. piehero, ckap, North America duel. Losers bracket action. Both gone Anarchy first. I think this might be quite foreshadowing of what we can expect for the rest of the map.
Well, we know ckap's Anarchy really lets him do what he wants to do, but there, immediately, piehero has picked up the rocket first and is waiting in ambush for him to come and get it.
I love this idea that he picked the rocket up so quickly. By the time ckap reached it, it was already back, which may have convinced ckap that it had yet to be taken, because it was so soon after the round had begun.
Stopwatch.
Maybe. Certainly seems that way, but regardless, that is going to be a wonderful start for piehero.
That's the kind of trap I only really expect to work one time in this map, but if it's going to get one frag and that frag is going to take away ckap's Anarchy, then it's going to be worth it any day of the week. Using his injection, he's temporarily stuck. Suicide comes through, but I mean, like, to be honest, that trade's going to be completely in piehero's favor. You know, if they're trading 1-1, but piehero has the champion advantage to begin with, he's still got the lead.
Especially if piehero feels really confident on like the rest of his team as well. Obviously, we've still got Doomslayer, we still have Nyx here. piehero has both the Mega and the Heavy. This is still very much completely in his favor.
Looking for those rails. ckap needs to land a little bit more of those. If piehero is going to maintain that stack, the rail is the direct answer to keep that stack in check. Oh,
just a little bit of damage there. piehero lost a little bit of his stack, actually, to be honest. Nails coming through, that mega health is coming up any second now. Hasn't got any armor, ckap needs to get away, but looks like piehero has no interest in chasing it down. Yeah, piehero went straight for the heavy armor.
Now,
Yeah, listening out, you can see the patience.
Yeah, if you're piehero, you're definitely going to be looking to slow the pace down. ckap could have got an unchallenged rail there, but I think he either wasn't confident or didn't want to give away his position. He had to jump on him a couple of times. I wonder why he didn't take the shot.
ckap looks like he's waiting for something, but I'm not sure what. Could it be the mega health? It's not going to be up for a while yet.
Maybe. Maybe he's just trying to be unbelievably careful with this being the first round of the final map. Every frag counts.
He's also checking his corners all the time now, which is not a huge surprise.
I think maybe that one ambush is still with him at the moment.
I mean, I kind of expect it to be. Yeah, you have to learn from that kind of thing. But again, piehero, he does have a few minutes to work with here if he wants to. And Doomslayer is, like we've been talking about many times today, deceivingly good at that keep away style, that runaway defensive game.
It's just the stack, right? It's the stack and the fact that you can compete with Nyx's mobility.
It's the stack, the double jump, the berserk. He has a lot of ways of getting out of the fight. And a lot of health, so it's going to take you a while to finish him off, or chunk him down, I should say.
However, as long as these exchanges go back and forth, piehero's going to be the one in the lead. With the obvious champion advantage, he can really afford to be patient if he wants to be. Here comes the ambush though, ckap actually landing right on his head but can't get any payout. That's really unfortunate.
Oh, a lot of damage there. Follow-up is going to be it, and piehero gets another frag. Going to end that first round 1-0 now. 2 rounds away from winning, but plenty more where that came from. I have a feeling we're going to be going down to round 5.
Yeah, it could do, with how ckap's been approaching these previous maps. I definitely wouldn't count him out after 1 round. But piehero, I like his ability to fight back. Corrupted Keep was very dominantly against him, I have to say.
But one thing about Corrupted Keep, no rail, not a lot of space. This map is the exact opposite of that.
Here comes piehero, literally chasing this fight.
So missing a lot, to be fair. Oh, but still going to get the frag. Literally, I think it was like 1 nail difference in that.
Yep, that could have gone pear-shaped if he missed him any more of those rockets.
But although ckap losing his Anarchy first. I think that's really good for him.
History is repeating itself. His Anarchy hasn't really been able to do a whole lot in this map so far because at the beginning of both of them, he's lost Anarchy very, very quickly. Lands 1 more rocket.
Ooh, nice combo from ckap.
But ckap needs to be careful here. Even though piehero is significantly more down on health and armor, ckap can't be too aggressive. He eats 1 direct, he's dead. He gets hit by the rail, and for that reason, piehero can just turn the tide. As long as those hits aren't connected.
I mean, as soon as ckap left the ground, that was a guaranteed rail. piehero turned around in case he got followed. He did.
I wonder if
that aggressive ghost walk.
I kind of wonder if ckap is being a bit too aggressive here. piehero takes 3 champions in a row, and it's going to be match point. I feel like ckap might be trying to sort of push the advantage too much. He might be trying to rush the finish, like we saw on Blood Run.
I mean, that was 2 very different round ends. The first round went on for quite a while. ckap was constantly trying to play that slow game and ultimately still lost. This time, he just went full rush. You know, just rushing as fast and as hard as possible, and it went even worse. I feel like ckap is running out of options here, or at least ways to approach this. piehero is just being so difficult to deal with. I think ckap cannot afford to lose his Anarchy so fast.
Definitely, and he has been able to take out piehero. This is an instant change of momentum. Now, what does he do with this? You know, if he's able to take his first round as dominantly, I think it shows that, right, don't lose your Anarchy. That's the first obvious thing, is to not lose a champion that you've had so much success with.
If only it was as simple as that. I know, right? Still low, looking good. ckap does have the time now. I mean, for a while, at least for the first couple of patches of the game, we did see Anarchy Runaway on Ruins of Sarnath become incredibly powerful. Do you think we see shades of it now?
Oh!
I think we even need to if he's getting another frag as piehero tries to rush the mega health, and ckap absolutely says, no, you do not.
Tried to go in for the Berserk to obviously challenge the Mega, but those rockets hitting their mark as often as they were. Doomslayer, even Doomslayer, when he's got no armor, can't really tank that. One of those really smart sort of rails into instant invisibility, so even if it doesn't connect, you're sort of safe. This is looking likely to be ckap's round. I don't want to speak too soon, but it's been a really good round for him so far, but right now, super weak. Got the injection, and right before it was popped. Going in for the kill. Can he finish it? No. One health.
That is the best case scenario of getting out of the fight. Oh my lord. ckap now just like that. Ooh! Missed rail from piehero.
Yep, he's going to have to go for those really sort of tight rails around the corners. And even then, he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there, really. With no injection, he can't really escape unless he gets a good read on left or right.
It doesn't go 2 minutes in. Oh! As that comes out with a ghost walk to just get out of dodge. It's going underground. I mean, to be honest, this could very much still be piehero's round. Berserk is gone. He has 2.5 minutes left to work with.
Now he's only just got the rail though, so ckap, his damage was kind of minimal at range until then.
Oh. That exchange, this is that dangerous 1v1. A lot of rockets coming through. piehero going to get taken down. That's going to be the first round in this final map on the board for ckap. And I think a lot of it came off the success of that early Anarchy. You know, making sure he didn't lose that first frag is so important, I think, just to start that momentum that ckap is clearly playing off.
Well, I think with no other option than to make 3 straight round comebacks. It kind of seems like that final round is the hardest one to finish. So much rides on it, you know, it can play so much on your mind mentally.
It's also something like right from the get-go you have to deal with it, because they're both starting with Anarchy, and clearly both of them really need to get that early success to solidify a strong lead. But if they're both going with Anarchy, ultimately one of them has to lose that lead eventually.
ckap's likely to get another frag here. The injection's been used. Can he even escape? No. piehero goes down again. I feel like that really early ambush in round 1 was a really important, like almost like a guarantee for that first round. But now, ckap, he's being significantly more careful. He's not walking into traps the way he did before. So I feel that almost like 3 rounds is going to be really important for him. piehero answers back though with the Berserk. Now it's going to be 1-1. Still match point for piehero though. So ckap in a precarious situation. Needs to get back on track.
He's going to have to try and stack up as fast as possible as well, considering ckap has the heavy armor. piehero looking pretty low. I actually quite like that use of the Berserk though, realizing that Anarchy with no armor is very vulnerable to it. But ckap going in for that Berserk, trying to catch him. But he's running into rockets again. This is not the first time this has happened, but he manages to get the frag this time.
I mean,
long range punch, the long arm of the law.
Literally through the face of death right there. Like 3 rockets. And none of them did enough damage.
I thought for sure history was going to repeat itself and he was going to punch into a rocket and the rocket would win.
But I think when you've gone that far in, you pretty much have to dedicate. You know, if you try and turn around, you're just going to take a rocket anyway. If you get the payout, it's going to be a frag. And in that instance, ckap did get away with it. Big damage on that rocket as well. The Ghost Walk, he's going to have to think about using that to stay alive. It's kind of risky that he's not using it just yet. And there we go, the Ghost Walk has been used.
There's a cooldown though, no armor for him, but piehero stuck in a bad position here. Very low health, very low armor, and that's going to be it again. And ckap on the verge of maybe making another 3-round comeback of the day.
Now,
another one.
You did say we're likely to see a round 5.
Round begins in.
Here we go, round 5 between these 2 guys. The losers bracket action. This is insane. Who's gonna? I honestly feel like whoever loses their Anarchy, this could be it. We'll check out some piehero and see what he brings to the table for this last round.
Oh, rail ever quite not missing, or not hitting, I should say. Oof, great exchange there. Injection, big damage, and a nice mid-air from piehero ckap.
Could this be foreshadowing?
It might be. I mean, ckap's 2-round victories have both come off the fact that he had Anarchy first and didn't die first.
I mean, he's going to have to break the mold, right? He's going to have to do what he hasn't been able to do so far, and that's win with Anarchy on this map after... sorry, win without the Anarchy, I guess, is a more accurate term. ckap's trying to pepper the rockets down, but piehero very, very weak. Still kind of vulnerable to one rail or so.
So tense, that exchange, knowing that this is it, ckap. I mean, he hasn't been able to win around this map without Anarchy from the start. It's going to be the one time he needs to change that now.
Minimal damage on the rocket though, so he's not going to be deterred too much. He's more likely to move though because piehero now is aware of where his location was. Obviously he's more than moved enough now, but... Uh-oh. ckap without armor, doesn't want to get hit by too many of those rails. He's actually piling in. He's dedicating 100%. Oh no, the rail fails to connect. I wonder if that's going to be the deal breaker here.
Still though, piehero really has slowed this down now. I think ckap realizing that without that Anarchy, piehero's realizing that without ckap's Anarchy, he hasn't got as much to fear of just, you know, I suppose random fights out of nowhere.
He just doesn't have the same amount of presence, you know, I guess threat on the map without that constant mobility.
Obviously, he's committing to this fight. Piehero's going in, but he might regret this, trying to get away. Getting chased with the LG. ckap trying not to let him get away. Oh, that missed rail into mega health. Piehero being able to just barely survive, but salvage it just in time to get both heavy and mega.
I know, speaking the obvious, but ckap is missing some very, very crucial rails.
Uh-oh. Oh, but there, so did piehero. Look at the health remaining.
Oh no, the suicide!
Not again, not like this.
And it was minimal damage on piehero too, and the fact that he's still got an injection, he's surrounded by the small health bubbles, he's got loads of little armor as well. He can be aggressive as he likes and catch ckap on the spawn. Oh no, and the mega. This is going to make ckap's life impossible.
And the heavy too.
Oh,
this is a miserable situation for ckap to come back from. I'm not gonna, again, I will not say it's impossible, but it will be difficult.
Oh, actually tried to charge the rail as well.
He's still there. He's still there. Oh, he makes a read on where he goes from this. He sees it. One shot could be it. No, he's out of there. Don't go back in. Don't go back in. ckap trying to get out of there.
The problem is he's going to have to give up the mega. And probably the heavy too. I just don't see ckap being able to fight for it at the same level. Yeah, he's had to completely concede it.
It's also because of the way they're spawning. Like the mega will spawn and then the heavy will spawn a few seconds after just because of how fast it's being taken.
Thing is, this is 100% advantage piehero. He's got control over the two items. He's got the time advantage here. He's been hitting more of these rails.
Oh!
There we have it. It is all finished. Piehero moves on. ckap unfortunately is eliminated, but I mean, that was a hard-fought match. Definitely.
No, it was 100%, you know, as is usually the way when it goes down to a map 3, but ckap, I mean, he was on the verge of it at the end. You know, he was making something happen, but again, you know, it really came down to him having the Anarchy, and as soon as he lost it first, that really was all she wrote. And commiserations, but that's going to be it for him today.
I think that was a really well-played map. You know, I like the fact that the final map went down to obviously the last round. It was quite foreshadowing over how prominent that champion was actually making to the map on top of everything else. But again, I just feel like piehero just kind of made some of the better plays as well. Sprung a little bit more traps. When the time came to land the directs or when the time came to land those rails, I feel like he was just a little bit more on the ball. And when you combine it with the fact that he knew what he had to do, knew he had to take out the Anarchy, and he pretty much gunned straight for it.
All right. Cool. So, for today, that is unfortunately all we have time for. However, Sane will continue streaming the rest of the Losers Bracket American action. We will be hosting him, so if you want to watch the rest of these dual qualifying games, don't go anywhere because we're going to be hosting the channel in just a few minutes' time. We have been Ketchup and Mustard, as always. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. If you are done with Duel With today, if for some reason you don't want to watch the rest of them, we are Sacrifice tomorrow as well, where we'll figure out who our final Sacrifice teams are going to be. So make sure you're coming back for that as well. We've had a good time. Hopefully you guys have too, and we'll see you tomorrow.